Yo, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with a rumor with the leaked NPD data for November 2018. Now, for those who don't know, the NPD covers the US only when it comes to sales data. They track it. We never actually get the full numbers from them because you have to pay to get the data, but certain press members do pay for it and they do get that data, then eventually leak it out through the same places. So you can bet that this information that you're about to hear is right because they've been spot on with the data before in the past. I only just don't like how they handle it. I wish it was more open, like the media create sales charts, but I get it. They collect the data. They've got jobs there too. So it is what it is. But let's go ahead and get into it here because there's some interesting numbers when it comes to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and also the Nintendo Switch. So this is for November, and it's always about like a month later when we get the data here. So we're in December, so it's not December's numbers, guys. That's still to come next year. So that'll be early January that we get those numbers, around mid-January. So we're getting the numbers for November, so last month. So year on year, apparently the Switch had the highest growth because it was at plus 75% year on year. So that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee really did help out here. The Nintendo 3DS was minus 39% year on year. The PlayStation 4 was minus 13% year on year. The Xbox One was minus 3% year on year. And I'm guessing for other, because they do have an other section here, that is the classic systems or something like that. I'm not really sure. Maybe the other systems, Vita, whatever the case is. Now, for those who don't know, year on year is comparing how it did this year compared to how it did at the same time last year. So November 2017. So the Switch actually bumped up things quite a bit, 75%. Huge growth, and you can bet that was due to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So the top selling physical releases for that month were Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And then if you look at the numbers just plainly, if you look at the numbers based on the year-on-year growth, because we do have the data for the previous year, then you can come to the numbers for this past month. So the PlayStation 4 was the top system sold with 1,478,000. The Switch wasn't too far behind at second with 1,356,000, and then the Xbox One was third with 1,342,000. So all three systems doing extremely well, seeing a nice jump up year on year for Switch, but all the systems selling well over 1.3 million for the month. That's definitely good. A lot of money going into the gaming industry, a lot of different games being purchased. So that's what just keeps all of this going, right? You want to see the systems do well. You want to see the games selling well that deserve to sell well. And that's exactly what happens, especially with the holiday season ramping up. And I think that things can even get bigger for Nintendo in December because that was with Pokemon. They were able to sell 1.3 million systems, but Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, all the early indications are that sales are up dramatically based on what's going on there with retailers and the Smash bundle and all of that stuff. So we should be able to see what's going down and kind of how well the Switch did in December. We'll see that in mid-January or so. So it's going to be really fun to kind of just see how much Smash did. I mean, obviously it's probably going to be the top game sold in December. I know back last year, it's definitely going to be a year-on-year increase from last year because last year was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in December. Yes, people were still buying stuff like Splatoon 2 and Super Mario Odyssey and games like that, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2 just isn't the type of big game like Super Smash Bros. Is. So we should see a big year-on-year increase for December's numbers as well. Maybe even some record-breaking numbers because Smash is really moving systems. So what do you guys think about the leaked NPD numbers here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, we've got a brand new game announcement that looks absolutely beautiful from Arc System Works and Psy Games, and that is a brand new Granblue Fantasy Versus. This is a fighting game, and it's been announced for the PlayStation 4. It's due out in 2019, so it actually has a release date over the game that was announced before, which we'll talk about, which is the RPG for Granblue Fantasy. So publisher Psy Games and developer Arc System System Works have announced a brand new fighting game called Granblue Fantasy Versus for the PlayStation 4 at Granblue Fantasy Fez 2018. It will launch in 2019. Now let's get into a little bit of an overview of the game. So venture into the skies where glory awaits. A brand new fighting game from the developers of Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, set in the world of Japan's mega hit RPG Granblue Fantasy, featuring original gameplay tailor-made to appeal to both Granblue Fantasy and fighting game fans alike. A new era of fighting games is born. So they go over some of the characters. They have Gran, they talk about he's the hero and everything, they show him off. They just show off Catalina, all the different characters. If you're into the Granblue franchise, then you'll know them, but this is a very Japanese centric type of franchise. I know it's not known too much outside of Japan, or if you're going there and you're playing the mobile games, and they're finally trying to expand outside of that. So this is really my first exposure to the Granblue Fantasy type of franchise and kind of what they're doing, but there still hasn't been any games released non-mobile. I'm guessing you can play those games in English, right? I'm not 100% sure, but either way, there's still no major games outside of that. We're waiting on the RPG, which we'll talk about in just a bit, but just going over the screenshots here, it looks absolutely beautiful. Arc System Works always knows what to do when it comes to the art styles in these games, just because look at the shots here. It just looks like a very nice and elegant type of art style, and fighter really reminds me of just like a little bit of their own take, of course, on like BlazBlue, and of course on games like Guilty Gear and what they've done. They did this with Dragon Ball FighterZ. Arc System Works, they know how to take any franchise. They can take anything and they can take that and put it into a fighting game. Arc System Works just knows how to do it. They've done it multiple times over with various different franchises, taking their art style, taking what they do best, putting it into a fighting game and making it look amazing. So they did say, in terms of some of the specifications, it's going to be PlayStation 4 just for right now, guys. Fighting game, 1 to 2 players, so there's no like 4 players or anything like that, or a co-op tag or whatever that is. There will be online play. There's no price at this point. The release date is 2019, or it's planned for that, and Arc System Works once again is the developer. So going over all these screens in the trailer, what do you guys think about Granblue Fantasy Versus? Is this the type of game that you would like to play? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, I'm moving on to the final topic here. Granblue Fantasy Project Relink has been officially titled into Granblue Fantasy Relink. We have the fighting game that we just talked about. Now this is back with the RPG game, and this was developed by Platinum Games. So Granblue Fantasy Project Relink, once again, Platinum Games developed RPG, renamed and everything, guys. It's got a much easier name with just Granblue Fantasy Relink. So they have talked about this at the Granblue Fantasy Fez 2018. Cygames debuted the latest trailer and gameplay demo during the event. The trailer characters are Gran and a bunch of other people that I'll have problems pronouncing their names, so you guys can check that out there. While the gameplay demos features Gran, Laria, and Vern. I might have said that wrong. There's Catalina and other characters as well. The game will allow up to 4 players to play and battle together. So nice 4-man or 4-man and woman team. So here's a little bit of an overview. So Cygames and Platinum Games presents Japan's mega hit RPG with a all-new 3D action. They have a bunch of new screenshots that just look absolutely phenomenal on the PlayStation 4, and then they went over the main characters and what you can expect there. So Cygames really wants to expand the world of Granblue and make it more than just the mobile game. I agree with what they're doing here, because I would have never known about Granblue at all if it wasn't for them actually going to the PlayStation 4. So I'm looking forward to this game. But once again, I'm scrolling all the way down here to the specifications, and there's no release date. So this game was supposed to come out in 2018, and then it got delayed, I think, to next year, and now they're saying release date to be decided. So they can't even give us a blanket 2019. So it might not even make that. It seems like the scope or something happened. Whatever the case is, they need to make sure that they get more time to work on it, because the new game that was just announced, the fighting game Versus, that already has a release window of 2019, and it was announced after, way after this game here. So obviously the scope and scale of this Granblue game, the RPG, is a lot bigger than just a fighting game, so Arc System Works can probably get that done beforehand. I'm just a little worried that this just might dip into 2020, and especially for a Western translation, I mean, who knows when we'll be playing this game. So maybe they announced it a little too early, but then again, maybe they didn't. I'm not really sure. Either way, it's a really beautiful action RPG that I'm definitely going to be playing on my PS4 Pro when it does come to the West. I have no idea when, but when it does, I'll definitely be playing it. So what do you guys think about all the different topics that we discussed here, from the rumored NPD numbers, Arc System Works on Granblue Fantasy, and also the RPG from Platinum Games with Granblue Fantasy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of player assets across the internet and just to YouTube. Also make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for this RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next video. Peace!